All right, we're live streaming. As is customary, when I start a live stream, I start to share, stream around, and hopefully that gets some people to watch the stream, especially on Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers. That's the Facebook group I run here in British Columbia that has 15,200 subscribers. So that's really great. Thank you, all of you. I'm really glad that I can be your weather guy as much as I am. I also want to share this to Twitter quickly, and then we'll start with the basics, and then we'll go deeper. So start with Environment Canada, what they're saying, and then we'll look at the days ahead in more depth and detail. If you have questions, please ask in the chat. If you do want to help me out, the best thing you can do is hit subscribe, hit share the stream. Like, if you can tell a friend, help me grow the channel. You can also leave a donation there, buy me a coffee or more. There's membership. You can become a member of the channel, and I will put exclusive footage up there once I have more than one member. I only have one member so far, so thank you very much. And I have a Patreon. I'm very thankful for my one Patreon guy, but it means something to me, Kevin Crook. Okay, posting on Twitter now. Strong thunderstorms start August 9th. British Columbia forecast. Give a tag here. BC storm. BC wildfire. Good, that one's there. BC, we'll say forest fires. No, wildfire. Is there a tag for that today? Yes, it is. Wildfires. So this is me just trying my best to get some people to watch the screen, because it's the best way to enjoy this video is while I'm streaming it. I mean, you can watch it afterwards, but it will be fairly long. Start at the beginning. We will get going here in just a minute. Wildfires, thunderstorms, last tag. Oh, we'll add British Columbia as well. Okay. Share that, mother. We'll ignore the fact there's messages and whatnot. Close that up. Ask any question you want. Today, I had a bunch of cool things happen today. The last thing that happened, and this would be lucky enough, was I had BC Hydro representatives show up, and they looked at a bunch of our stuff, replaced some of the door panes, gave me a bunch of light bulbs, told me to buy me a new fridge. That's cool. I also got contacted by a media group out of Toronto who was looking to use my video. I think that's a forest fire from last year for advertisement for Google Ads, for Google News. And they're going to pay, it looks like. So that's really good news. I'm a struggling artist as it is. Here is the Jetstream map for today. Enough pre-show banter. Here is the Jetstream app. You can see the Jetstream is relatively high, and that's where the heat mostly goes. The jet stream is weakened over Alberta and BC, and that allows some of that heat to spill up. And then because we got some strengthening of these upper level winds, that's pushing some of that heat into the territories. You see BC high pressure 1020, high pressure 1018. So that's pretty high pressure. A little bit of a low coming in on the coast. That's going to press in. And we have already today a little bit of threat of thunderstorms in the very southern portions of BC, but the show doesn't really start till tomorrow at all. But we can see that one group of storms is going to come up from Vancouver and come up from Oregon and Washington State, and that's going to start to affect Vancouver Island tomorrow. That's going to start to affect the lower mainland. There could be some pretty strong storms. Some of that may make its through. If not, though, what it's going to do is set up probably for Wednesday to be our day. And then also in southern BC, we got this sort of going on. So that's what tomorrow is looking like. That moves in. There's a ridge right now that's sitting between us and Alberta. That's a terrible drawing. It's really hard to do with just my. You wouldn't believe that I went to art school. I was an art major and a philosophy major. Yeah, I should have studied weather. That would have been really cool. So that's what that looks like right now. Okay, should add here. Please share. Thank you. Please share. Thank you. Okay, and then I close Facebook up. It's just taking up space. Okay, Canada. This hour's hotspot. Lytton. Lytton climate, it says. I don't know what that means. 35.9. Lytton, BC. Pretty hot. Most definitely. Public alerts right now. If we see them. Alberta. Heat, 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 all the way through southern Alberta into Sealing, Saskatchewan. British Columbia, heat. We got some air quality advisories. That's mostly because, well, high pressure's keeping smoke down, and we have a lot of smoke in some places, notably the Fraser Canyon. But that doesn't seem to be the problem today. It's drafting out. Elk Valley is one of the areas. Have a look at that quickly here. So that includes Elko, Fernie, Sparwood, Elford. There's air quality advisories for North Coast Inland, including Terrace, South Okanagan, including Picton, Sutherland, Naramata, Karamias, Oliver, and Osoyoos, West Kootenay, including Nelson, Castlegar, Trail, and Rossland. So I don't understand two new fires in northwest of Terrace. That doesn't make really sense. But okay, that's what it's saying about smoke. Heat. Central Coast getting heat. Another hot stretch expected. Daytime temperatures above 28 degrees Celsius, which is very hot for the coast. That includes Bella Coola, Terrace, Kitimat. And this is going to say this again and again. A higher ridge of high pressure building over BC will bring rising temperatures to the region through Wednesday. Above seasonal temperatures and elevated overnight temperatures will mean a little relief from the heat. There will be a cooling trend beginning on Thursday, and that probably is going to bring thunderstorm activity through BC. The cooling trend. Fraser Canyon, what are you saying for heat right now? Probably pretty hot there. The hot stretch continues. Daytime highs near 35 degrees Celsius combined with overnight lows near 18 degrees Celsius. That's Fraser Canyon South, including Lytton. Now to Friday, a ridge of high pressure over BC brings it. So that's concerning because that is definitely where wildfire activity is currently still going on in Lytton. And thunderstorm activity will mean that new starts could be aggressive right off the hop because it's been hot there and will continue to be hot. So North Thompson, that's probably going to say about the same thing. Daytime highs in the 30s with overnight lows near 14. So yeah, from Environment Canada. Here's looking at the graphic area forecast map. I don't understand why it says this is always something I think is funny. The hard enough map people don't understand is graphic area forecast map, short form GFA. Okay, well, sure. It's not GAF, but that would make sense. No. Anybody watching so far? No. That's okay. We'll keep talking. One person watching. Good to see you. We're going to talk about fire danger. We're going to talk about forecast. We're going to talk about what Avalanche Canada's forecast is because they always have a great forecast. But let's look at this map right now for a minute and see what we can discuss here because I know a lot of you people on Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers are always asking questions about what these maps mean. So earlier I was just saying that there was a ridge or here over Alberta in the Rocky Mountains, more or less. So that should make things interesting for Alberta when it comes to storm activity in the coming days, I think. So what do we have here? Down here, we got this thunderstorm icon in southern BC. So this map is for 12 hours, basically for now, 10, 12 hours. So that's tonight that this map is for. So overnight, we could start to see this. This is the thunderstorm icon right here. Yeah, it's like a weird R because that makes so much sense to have a storm icon be an R, not a T or something. Okay, so we have some broken layers of clouds ahead of it at 20,000 feet, bottoming at 14,000, so relatively high and isolated. And we see these arrows. These arrows are telling because these arrows are the ones that are talking about what's, you know, we'll see as we get going here, but those arrows are the ones that are showing movement of air into BC, and that's going to be part of our setup for thunderstorm trigger. But still, right now, high pressure, and it's stationary high, 10-20 hectopascals. We said that earlier, 10-20 millibars. And over here, we're going to have scattered cumulus, 1,600, 16,000 top, 12,000 bottom. So, but we see here's the guy that's talking about overnight tonight. These little guys here, if you're wondering, these look like Fs, these music note guys. Each one of these bars represents a 10 knot wind. So over here, again, we got 30 knot winds or so. If that make any sense. Obviously, these looking guys, that's clouds, right? So we got some two different kinds of clouds going on. Yeah, really. But this isn't a very exciting map right now at all today. It's just indicative of what's coming overnight. So, Avalanche Canada, what are you saying? And hey, if anyone's got a one thumb up, thank you, everybody. I gave a thumb up too. You like your own stuff? Somebody's got you. Okay. High pressure continues to be the main driver of weather for the next few days over central and interior northern BC. Further south, a weak disturbance will likely send clouds to southern BC this afternoon and evening, with a very slight risk of thunderstorms near the international border tonight. So that's what we were already looking at. As the Pacific low moves closer to the south coast on Wednesday afternoon, evening, showers with a risk of thunderstorms begin to look ever more likely to develop. A frontal system will be draped over the Yukon for today and Wednesday, bringing moderate showers and a risk of thunderstorms. The frontal edge will begin over Dawson this evening and slowly track towards the southern sections of the territory by Wednesday afternoon. This system should clear out before Wednesday morning or Thursday, before morning Thursday, as a building ridge of high pressure is going to dominate the region. And well, here's a nice little forecast map we can look at for a minute. Tuesday night, Wednesday, 5 a.m., Wednesday evening, into Friday, so, and Saturday, several rounds of storms in through into Sunday. That's what that's showing us. It moves really fast. We could slow it down a little bit here. Wednesday, 5 p.m. So we see already some of these guys over the Caribous, Rocky Mountains, Southern BC. That's what we see. Southern BC. Here's where the risk sort of ramps up in the lower mainland. So Vancouver, Chilliwack, and Hope, and all these places can probably expect Wednesday evening to see some pretty significantly strong thunderstorms. And here's that low centered off just off the coast of Oregon, Washington State, and southwest of Vancouver Island. That's going to want to start affecting and sending rounds of moisture into BC. Got this other low up on the coast into the Alaska, the Aleutian Islands. That's eventually going to slap some against the, that's going to improve. These are the two energy providers that are going to start slapping into BC over the coming days. Clear this. This is complicated for me. Okay, Thursday, 5 a.m. Now it's moving into, say, Gold Country. Stronger ones developing. Thursday, 11 a.m. Thursday, we could see some significantly strong storms in the interior. Look at this, Thursday, 11 p.m., 2300 hours. Here's this guy down in right smack dab in the center of southern British Columbia at border country. That's something to be watching for. Friday, a little bit of a reprieve, but at nighttime again, southern BC and the Caribous as well. This looks like typically stuff that will affect Quesnel, Williams Lake, Hunter Mill House, Wells, Prince George, perhaps some of these guys north of to Fraser Lake and such and such. Saturday, 5 a.m. Now I see the band from this slow, and he's slapping up against the BC coast. Snapping. What's that gonna do? Saturday, 11 a.m. Caribous, Prince George, now Birds Lake, Smithers, 5 p.m. Southern BC into the Kootenays, maybe to Revelstoke, Salmon Arm, down to perhaps Kelowna. We'll look at more of this. That low that we've been looking at for a couple of days is going to expected to come shore Saturday night. Nighttime thunderstorm risk overnight. Large portion of the interior. Hopefully that brings some rain. But for the bunch of days ahead of time, we're not going to see much. When we look at the windy maps, we'll look at rain projections first, I think, just to give us an idea. Sunday, 5 a.m. Lots of juice up into Peace Country, Fort Nelson. That low moves up to the Fort Nelson area. That'll bring some rain and whatnot. So that is more or less, that goes all the way through. That's what their maps are showing right now. Any questions? Feel free to ask in the. Hey, Karen Crawford. Clouds moving into Cranbrook, East Kootenay right now. I did notice today here that there is some convection. It's not going to turn into thunderstorms here in the Caribou, but what that is going to do is help ramp up a little bit the humidity as that moisture is getting drawn out of things, and so it goes up into the sky for now, and at nighttime it'll dissipate some and the air will become kind of moist, but that's going to help over the next few days give us some extra juice. Anybody who's got a question, feel free to tell me what you're seeing in your area, and we can look at that on windy as well. We can look at the clouds. We're going to look at everything while we have time. I thought we'd just start simple with, well, this is what environment. It's going to be hot in some places, and well, we know when it's really dry and it's really hot, that the real risk is that fire behavior is very unpredictable and explosive. And we always get these people who say, "Well, back in our day, we fought fire this way, and how come they can't? How come they can't get on top of it now?" And the reality is, I'll tell you from fighting fire myself, is that a lot of fires these days are a lot more aggressive consistently than they used to be. And why is that? It's because, like, if you have more hours of the year where the temperature in the region's above 30 degrees Celsius and that humidity is below 30%, that crossover condition, and maybe add a little bit of wind here and there too, you're providing conditions for fire that are very difficult to fight. And that's why, you know, weeks like this are very troubling weeks. If we have summers, well, we saw through the first half of summer, temperatures were just did not really take hold. And, consistently, if you had summers that were sort of mixed like that, you'd have fire seasons that were sort of mixed with how aggressive, there'd be times where they'd be aggressive, but that would probably settle down fast because these periods of, they didn't have a heat dome that was 50 degrees like last year. So we'll skip ahead and we'll look at day two, Wednesday, the August 10th. So we see first thing in the morning, 5 a.m., risk of showers, risk of thunderstorms. In the Yukon, once again, they've had a lot of heat and a lot of thunderstorms up there. Some of their weather has been significantly nicer than we've seen in BC, at least in central parts of BC. Some of you in the south have seen some really nice weather at times. But look at this, showers, risk of thunderstorm, 5 a.m. there on Wednesday. And we have in the south increasing cloudiness. Uh, that's where our story is going to start to begin. Okay. Wednesday morning, 5 a.m., as the upper low tracks along the Oregon and Washington coast, an associated upper trough will bring increasing cloud cover to the southern third of BC. Elsewhere, expect clear conditions. A frontal system will move across the territory, spreading showers and isolated thunderstorms along a distinct east-west line ahead of the cold front. So now we see Wednesday, 5 p.m., the risk of thunderstorms, scattered risk, but as this low starts to push in, some of these thunderstorms getting into the evening are going to get strong. And here we have a few other places we might have some pop-ups ahead of time. Oh, I want to delete. Clear drawings. Okay. Hello, my name is Joey, and I like to do drawings. Wednesday afternoon, northern and central British Columbia will not see much in the way of precipitation, as no significant system affected in the region, resulting in fair weather conditions for this afternoon. However, the southern third of BC will be engulfed in cloud cover with scattered showers and a risk of thunderstorms. And one of the concerns we have is that there's not a lot of rain forecasted in these initial thunderstorms. Probably not even until Saturday, Sunday, we might actually get some consistent rain. Yukon expected to be 4 to 7 below seasonal before returning to seasonal average on Thursday. So storms there, cold front's going to trigger them. Yes, yes, yes. Day 3, 4. The upper level low will stall over the west coast of Vancouver Island, bringing possible showers and thunderstorms to the south coast and the Okanagan. However, central BC and Weak Ridge may bring mainly sunny conditions with afternoon temperatures similar to that on Tuesday, a few degrees higher than average. The ridge of higher pressure will hold over northern BC, bringing mainly sunny conditions to the area until the weekend. Day 5, 7. And this is all just fancy stuff, which I won't bore you with. Here's today's fire danger rating. Any questions? Anyone got any questions? No one's got any questions. Okay, fire danger rating today. We see consistently for the last while in this fire season, it's been Southeast Fire Center that's had the most activity. They've had the most starts, the most new starts, the most out of control fires. They haven't had the most notable fire necessarily because down in Lytton area, a very visible fire has been fairly close to homes, and it was in a place where last year we saw some significantly awful stories happening with the town burning down and such and such. I'm in Wells here, and this is fairly normal for us in the Caribou Mountains. You got to love it. Bit of a rainforest in through here just out my back door. But we have a lot of fairly high conditions, maybe not in the Caribou, maybe in West Caribou. South, we're looking at Kamloops Fire Center, KFC, and Southeast Fire Centers. Those are the areas that are very dry. But look now, even Vancouver Island has not seen much rain for a while, and we're going to get a lot of lightning. We could see some fire starts anywhere along these dry spots in advance of any precipitation that does come. So when these thunderstorms start to bubble, we're really looking at a lot of danger zones where lightning could really create a story in the coming days, and where the forecast is mixed on how much rain we're going to get. Humidity 18% right now, Karen says. So yes, that gives you a really good idea. Humidity is a really important factor in fire behavior. You get that really low humidity and you get that temperature up above 30 degrees. It's magic. And I'll tell you from experience how many times where we were working on fire line and in the morning it was kind of cool and cloudy and we're having trouble finding anything to really action or work on because the hot spots were just sort of here and there through the forest, hiding underground, not giving us a lot uh, to work with. And then suddenly at 3 in the afternoon, the clouds break and some of the heavy smoke breaks and the sun gets through and the temperature kind of jumps up from 25 to 33. And suddenly we see puffs of smoke all over the place. I was sitting in a high spot down at uh, Grand Forks. Yeah, near Grand Forks. Sitting in a high spot there on the fire, and suddenly little puffs of smoke started coming up here, then there, and then within 15 minutes, some of those fires were starting to pop up and run. It was kind of nearing the end of fire season, but that was a day where activity just sort of came up out of nowhere. That's problematic. Let's have let's have me up there. Okay, we'll start with temperature first. No, we'll start with rain accumulation. This is a good one. So next 12 hours, nothing. Okay. After that, well, so tomorrow afternoon, like at this time, still nothing. Next 3 days, so looking towards Friday, we do have. This is going to be where some of these thunderstorms pop up. We have a little bit, but the problem is this is where these thunderstorms are going to pop up. That's not a lot of rain, and lightning's going to be striking all over the damn place. So already we have some evidence. Well, next 5 days, getting into Sunday. Well, who's the benefit here? Definitely Vancouver Island, Coast Mountains. That looks nice. You're going to see some rain. And definitely up through areas north of Prince George and into North Rockies, into the Peace Country, northern Alberta. They sort of get that here. We see some of these pop-ups from these are basically going to be from thunderstorms, and probably when you see these lines, I've seen this before actually, uh, on a grand scale, like across the continent. But when you see, oh, I'm always in the way. Okay, I'm over here now. When you see these lines, I've seen it from Alberta to Ontario, and pretty much exactly how a system sort of started here and then moved like this before dying off. So, between Osoyoos and the cusp, possibly these are areas where they think the thunderstorm activity in the high hills, especially those high hills, will start to provide some convection. Zoom back out. Next 10 days, anything, any hope? Well, yeah, it's definitely on the coast. Definitely for you. Uh, Green, what does that mean? Well, we're looking at 20 to 40 millimeters in some of these places along the coast and maybe 20 in places along the interior. So it's not a promising forecast for rainfall given the fire situation we find ourselves in right now. Well, we'll talk about temperature for a couple days. Is that a humongous factor in wildfire behavior? Any questions? Anybody? No, but thanks for watching, you guys. Okay, so today, 3 p.m. We won't talk about today much. Uh, heat, heat's all over the place. Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, central British Columbia, fairly warm up to Prince George. So into the evening, fairly warm. Skip ahead till tomorrow and see already by noon these clusters of cold air. These are thunderstorms. This is evidence for thunderstorm forecasts. These are clusters of, not cold air. I mean, hey, it's still above 10 degrees, but this is at noon and it's only, and then we see some of this down here. Well, this is thunderstorm energy. Look at this. This is uh, definitely evidence of that cold front that's going to swoop in. Let's clear this drawing here and move down. Here's where that low is that we've been talking about off the coast of Oregon and Washington and south of Vancouver Island. And we see how the counterclockwise motion of low pressure feeds that stuff as this low tries to move in. It's feeding that stuff into the southern part of BC, along the coast of Washington. We have this whole area where temperatures are colder than everywhere else around. Now you think like, well, that's not a huge deal. But I mean, when you think about thunderstorm activity and convection, even just a few degrees sometimes of temperature difference can really fuel things, right? So don't fool yourself. Any questions? Don't fool yourself. That's interesting. That's significant. We'll look at temperatures here. Wednesday, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Whoa, that's some pretty hot weather. 4 p.m. All these cold areas, these are areas where thunderstorms are going to pop up first, right? Now we're looking at 4 p.m., 32 in Kamloops, 32 in Kelowna. It's probably going to be warmer than that in town, right? So they're always a little bit conservative. And then you have, where's the official weather station? It's at the airport somewhere. Maybe right in the city even, where the heat is radiating off of sidewalks and buildings and things like that. You may notch up a couple degrees, or in the canyons. If you're down a lot of Ashcroft and you have all that heat radiating off all the rocks, well, that's going to start bumping these temperatures up a little bit. Blue River 26, Williams Lake 29, Quesnel 30, Prince George 30, Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Burns Lake 28, 32 in Terrace. That's interesting. And 5 p.m. we see that cooler air pushing in. 7 p.m. Oh, we got some thunderstorm potential right there. We'll talk about all that in a few minutes. We're going right into all the details here. Why not? Thursday, 1 p.m. Again, sort of much the same. We see that a few degrees colder along the coast at a time of day where, it should start to be notching up. 17 degrees, 20 Campbell River, 22. And we have, that's Rocky Mountains, so some cooler air aloft in the Rocky Mountains. Thunderstorm energy. That's what that is to me. Hot. Hot. We'll just let it run through the next couple days. And then we'll back up to rain and thunder. And we'll start over again. Look at all these maps. Friday, 1 a.m. Still pretty warm overnight in some places. 4 a.m. still 17 in Kamloops and Kelowna areas. So that's warm. 19 Pembroke. And that heat just jumps up from the United States. They keep sending it our way. That's been like a real blotch of heat sitting in Washington State, and it doesn't go away. It just sits there all night long. And there's going to have some severe thunderstorms all through. Look at this. There's going to be lots of really strong thunderstorms. Fire risk that's going to happen too isn't just a BC story. It's all along the Cordillera, the Western Cordillera. That's what they call mountains. It's Spanish word for chain, I think, for rope. Saturday, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. We're going to see some break in the temperatures. Well, in a lot of places, yeah, it's starting to. Now only in the low areas, the heat sinking down. Quesnel, Williams Lake, Prince George. But in the mountains and in on the higher hills, no. 5 p.m. Thunderstorms, man. That's where it's going to be. Sunday, we look at temperature on Sunday. 1 p.m. A couple notches cooler, a couple notches cooler. So we're going to back up and we're going to go to 10 a.m. on Wednesday for thunderstorm talk because there's no sense in reviewing days that nothing's going to happen. Any questions? Yes, Joey, who cuts your hair? Well, my daughter did this time. She's 9 years old. I said, what can go wrong? Just do it. She didn't want to, but then I convinced her it was a good idea. Okay, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Where is our first energy? Well, only have some might have some moments of rain, but where are we looking right here? X marks the spot. 11 a.m. This guy's going to be a thunderstorm. He's going to do something. There's going to be something going on there, and we already looked at those past maps and saw that. And remember, we were just looking at a temperature bulb. Well, that's some possible showers and rain into the South Chilcotin, a little bit cooler. So there's our 11 a.m., 12 noon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Halt. Okay. Not a lot of rain through already these. So we see one little blotch has sort of moved off into eastern BC, but in behind there's these thunderstorms without much rain, and we don't like them. Those are bad thunderstorms. They're not fun because they make everyone scared. 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Uh-oh, what's going on Wednesday? And some of the concern, high convective available potential energy already. And where is this? Who might see a severe thunderstorm? My slow internet takes a while to tell me. So in the high hills between Lytton, Lower Nicola, Boston Bar, Princeton, Yale, some significant energy there. Concerning. Hilltops like to be wildfire targets. This. Thunderstorm potential, fairly widespread all through southern BC, kind of itself through halfway through southern Caribou. At that time, at least, at 4 p.m. Wednesday. So we see Vail Mount, Blue River, possibly 100-mile house area, possibly South Chilcotin, possible thunderstorms. We got some good energy there. We got some good energy in southern BC. Cells in the mountains. Rain, thunder, Wednesday, 4 p.m. We got some high temperatures, widespread, 6 p.m. These are some of the storms down here. Look at this, it's Vancouver Island, somewhere north of Tofino, into the high mountains. I've climbed some of the mountains in there, Mount Albert Edward. We have in Washington State there, sort of in Seattle, what looks like some aggressive energy. We see some aggressive energy as well in the areas west of Fraser River. 7 p.m. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Well, here we go. These storms are deepening. So we will be looking for severe thunderstorm watches to be issued on Wednesday for areas like the lower mainland. These are, perhaps they'll see some of it in Vancouver, certainly. There's definitely going to be some strong energy. Harrison Lake, look out. Little Lake, look over here by Gold River. That's deep. And over 20 millimeters. Well, let's see if we can find something about convective available potential energy. Who's going to be severe? Who is it? Doesn't seem to indicate there. The energy is going to be in front, but I'm not fooled. Those are going to be some strong storms. 10 p.m. overnight up through Vancouver Island, up through north central coast of BC, and now really Harrison Lake area just lighting up. Overnight, 12 a.m. What do we have here? Revelstoke, North Salmon Arm, maybe Salmon Arm, maybe in a band towards 100 Mile House, like Clearwater, perhaps Blue River to Vail Mount, Jasper. 3 a.m. Thursday morning. Wait. Let's back that up. Look at some of this energy. Where did you go? 2 a.m. Wow. There's going to be some strong storms going on already first thing in the morning. So this is that the lake area. Here's the fort. There's your highway that more or less runs from 100 Mile to Little Fort. So in the high hills between and people in Clearwater, there's some really nice big. I can't think of the name of it. That mountain there, like Clearwater, but there's a park. It does like to light up when it storms. Fire potential. 5 a.m. Okay, we're gonna zoom out a little bit. So that first sort of wave in the morning. Now the caribou's getting it. Look at these cells all along Central Coast. Quite aggressive. But already 6 a.m. What we're talking about here in Wells. So we're talking about Kikana, Alexandria, Quesnel, Strathnaver, Sower Creek, Horfog, Hendricks Lake, Morningstorm, Blue River, Vail Mount. And we don't know exactly where these storms are going to be. More or less energy in the high mountains just near here. That would be really nice to be out there first thing Thursday morning. I do have that ability. That's very close to me. There's a highway, not a highway, there's a forestry road that goes from Wells down through Creeksley Creek and into Likely, and it's more or less does that. It's one of my favorite drives in the world. It's actually why I live here, knowing that that's out my back door. Not a lot of rain, lightning potential. Caribou, you've been pretty spared so far this fire season. I hope that that trend continues in the coming days. So that's storm energy that dissipates on Thursday morning in the Caribou. That's going to start popping up north of Prince George on Thursday afternoon, 1400 hours into the Rocky Mountains. So we see, more or less Chetwynd, Dawson Creek somewhere over here, right? So they're the ones that are going to be on the edge of this. You got dinosaur country there too. 4 p.m. New line of storms might start building at this point in the plains, far plains outside Quesnel, Williams Lake, Prince George. Look at there's some energy there. Who's going to see severe watches and warnings? So this is 5 p.m. Well, this would be a good time of day to expect. We see that thunderstorm potential for Prince George very high that afternoon. Where's the convective available energy? Well, it's largely, so perhaps the Caribou might get somewhat spared on Thursday just because of the timing of this blob of energy making the jump across, right? So we might see it Thursday morning and whatnot, but the strongest storms. But we do have forecasts from Weather Network for strong storms, right? Has anyone asked any questions? No, I guess not. And whenever it says strong storms in your forecast, I take note of that. Oops. I kind of. So this is convective available potential energy. Again, north of Salmon Arm. Right here, right? Well, what do we have for 1,500, 1,600 joules per kilogram of energy? It's a lot. Just over in Alberta, north of Grand Cache, Hinton, places like that. That may be up to Grand Prairie. That may be severe storms going on for sure for Alberta that afternoon. You see some of this looking stuff. Well, and we got some strange convergences going on. I'm not here to predict tornadoes in another province days ahead of time, but I'd be concerned seeing this forecast. Well, same with Saskatchewan too. I'd be concerned for these forecasts if I lived in those regions with the summer they've been having, especially. Thursday, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m. starts to dissipate. The real story after that comes on Saturday. Let me there you go. Saskatchewan just getting slammed early in the morning on Friday. Where's that going? Look at this guy. It's going to be that. We have strong thunderstorms in northern Manitoba. Friday, 2 p.m. Again, southern BC. So we have just day after day where popcorn storms may be just sort of bubbling up in those high hills in your regions, right? We do have some potential for stronger storms north of Smithers, west of, or east of Smithers especially. Oh no, what am I talking about? That's Williston Lake. Some reliable weatherman I am. If I got paid more, I'd spend a lot more time preparing these. So Friday, caribou still getting kind of spared. Getting lucky. Maybe gonna see some storms. Here we see Saturday morning. Look at this big. I should have had this expanded out. Look at this big slap. This is that other low that we had here. This is the one's been moving north. You see slap. This long line of precipitation going to start slapping. So we know that lows tend to move, not tend to, always move counterclockwise. That's what a low does. High pressure does the opposite. It moves clockwise. 3 a.m. Saturday. Here comes the show. 4 a.m. Pause. Here we are. Smithers, Tackle 7 a.m. Morning storms? Quite likely. One thing I like about morning storms is they flash some lightning around, and the whole heat of the day is there to help those fires settled in, take some root. Saturday, 1 p.m. Boom. Okay. Well, we're looking at days in advance now. Widespread thunderstorms. Look at Grand Prairie. Ooh. Saturday at 2 p.m. Where's the convective available potential energy? Oh, Alberta. Big time. Saturday, another severe day for you. But we have that blob that's been moving. That was in Smithers early that morning. And it's making its way. It's kind of dragging behind. And it's going to hit in Williston Lake at some point that day. That may be some good energy for severe storms. Saturday looks to really be the day. Everything that kind of leading up to Saturday, I would say, is foreshadowing or foreplay if you're a weather guy. Saturday, 5 p.m. Again, strong thunderstorms. Now Dawson Creek, Fort St. John, everywhere south of Fort Nelson, Fort Ware, Williston Lake area. Now we have near Vanderhoof, probably some pretty strong energy. If we look at Cape Index, again, still here. How severe will some of these get? How widespread is maybe more the concern. I think our severest storms may be happening at Saturday, 5 p.m., except for some of the events on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which are more isolated. And so much of the weather on Thursday and Friday skips over the central interior, and we have popcorns up in the southern interior. The hilltops being great places for convection. They like to breed thunderstorms that way. Okay, 6 p.m. Still Prince George Canal. Southern BC starting to even out. All that energy is starting to move northern. Hey, what happens at 11 p.m.? Could have a really strong thunderstorm Saturday night between Hickson and Prince George. So, that may not be severe category at that point, but it may be full of energy, full of lightning. Some poor unsuspecting animal wandering around out in the forest might get fucking zapped by lightning. And unfortunately for them, they aren't able to be members of Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers. So many of our interior inhabitants are animals who don't know fuck all about weather, really. Well, they know enough to survive in it. But if it gets bad, what are they going to do? Stand there and accept it. So that's kind of how she's looking for the next bunch of days. Not a whole lot of rain, some pretty strong. Look at that. Sunday, still some pretty strong activity in the piece. And finally on Sunday, temperatures start to cool off a little bit. Not a lot of rain in the forecast. A bunch of very hot days, some low humidity, some strong thunderstorm potential, possibly severe. Vancouver Island going to see a lot of harsh energy. Lower mainland, Harrison Lake looking like it's going to see a couple good thunderstorms on Wednesday evening. Definitely Kelowna, Kamloops, Revelstoke trail corridors. You're looking to be hot spots for storm energy over the next 4 days. Caribou, you're going to get missed a fair bit, jumped over mostly during peak storm hours, especially the afternoon into early evening. That's, we're going to have mostly the best energy for thunderstorms. And already we're looking ahead a week from now. And that's not really what I do. Anyways, thank you for coming by my YouTube channel. And I hope that for all 4 of you who are watching, that did my best to explain why I'm concerned about forest fire potential in the coming days. Did my best to explain how much lightning, how little rain we're going to get. The fact that most of the interior is not looking at any significant rain over the next 10 days. At least not for ECMWF model. My preferred model. You could pick any of the 4. They're all going to often disagree by 50 kilometers on where energy may be or not be, or where temperature might bulge or not. So it's like, you just pick one, sort of run with it. And sometimes I look at all of them to sort of see where things are uncertain. But I mean, we're pretty certain that we're in a heat wave right now. We're pretty certain that forest fire energy will not be helped by new lightning starts, new fire starts. We're pretty sure that fires that are already burning with the low humidity and with the excessive heat are going to take some runs. So everyone in Kamloops Fire Center certainly is concerned. Southeast Fire Center certainly concerned. Uh, so far in Prince George and Caribou, we've had pretty quiet fire season, so hoping it keeps that way. But this could be some telling times. Hopefully things cool off a little bit after this, and we can start catching up on fire season. That's more or less how fire season goes. There's explosions of fire here and there, times where fire is very active, and then we can play catch up after that. So you kind of got to let them run. They're 35 degrees and it's zero humidity, and there's a wall of flame. There's not much you can do. You know, you can try your best, but I'll tell you, the fire is very stubborn. We poured water straight on flames, man, and it didn't make a difference. Half the water was evaporating before it got on the fire. So it's just like there's not much you can do when it's that hot. But when things start to cool off, that at least might give fire crews a bit of time to catch up. So please share, please subscribe. Um, tell your friends, hey, check out Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude on YouTube. He's pretty cool, and once in a while he says something fucked up. So, it's worth spending an hour of your time listening to him babble the fuck on about weather and bullshit. You can always watch my show with Frankie McDonald that comes on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. That's the Meteorological Report, Comedy Plus Meteorology equals Meteorology. And you can join Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers on Facebook. If you are on Twitter, Joey Only, Interior Weather 1, Interior Weather and Wilderness Watcher. You can find me on Twitter as well. Thanks so much for coming by. And I think without much further friggin' ado, we'll just say goodbye to all of you. And unless, is there any last questions? Caring a lot. Thanks again, Joey. Hey, right on. What's funny is like every time I get one new subscriber, I notice and I'm like, yay. And every time someone makes a comment, I'm like, yay, because it shows that I'm slowly grinding away and getting somewhere, that people are actually watching. And you know what? I don't if there's 10,000 people watching right now, that'd be awesome. But the fact that some of you came by and watched and listened, that makes a big difference to me, because you can't put on a show for nobody. So I put on a show for the few of you who are here. And now this will be a video that people can watch on the BoobTube, YouTube. Okay. Well, without